How we doing, everybody? Hope you're all well. Now, last week, you probably saw on the news that Iron Mike Tyson was on a JetBlue flight and lost his cool, lost his shit, and assaulted a member of the public. But, to be fair, that guy had it coming. I have absolutely no sympathy for him. Okay, turns out the guy's got a long list of criminal records on his record. He's got a long criminal record is what I'm trying to say. Now, he goes onto the plane. He's in business class. He sees Iron Mike Tyson. You take it easy. You act like you've been there before. You certainly don't hassle the guy non-stop. And that's what the guy was doing. It clearly looked, number one, that guy was intoxicated.
Are you intoxicated? Yeah.
Okay, certainly looked like he'd had a drink. And he was playing up to his buddy. He was acting funny. He was bothering Mike. He was standing up. He was leaning over into his personal space. He was being a general fucking pain in the ass. Do you know what I mean? My God, if you see someone, you can maybe say, hey, big fan, whatever. But when you're on a plane, leave them alone. Leave them alone. It was 10:30 at night. Mike Tyson had been to a cannabis festival in San Francisco where he was unleashing to everybody and showing the world the debut of his Mike Tyson edibles shaped like an ear. Yes, of course, alluding to the ear that he bit off Evander Holyfield back in the day, and we're going to get to that shortly because right now I'm going to give you a list of 5 crazy, wild, whatever word you want to do, things that Mike Tyson's done. And no, I'm not talking about beating up that idiot on the airplane because that guy had it coming. That guy deserved it. I'm not condoning violence, but still, sometimes, whoosh, a little backhand, yeah. It's required. Now, as we know, Mike Tyson had an absolutely sensational career. Became the youngest heavyweight boxing champion of the world at just 20 years old, which is absolutely unbelievable. And then from there, just a run of dominance. The knockout power, the speed, the head movement is what he was known for. But he was also known for a few things going on outside of the ring as well. So we're going to get into them. The 5 craziest things that Mike Tyson has done. Number 5. Mike Tyson bit the leg of Lennox Lewis at a press conference. Yes, that's right. In the 90s, Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson, they fought. They were the 2 baddest men on the planet at that time. And there was a press conference held, and they were both supposed to stand on these illuminated boxes. It was all dark. Lennox walks in, Tyson walks in, and then all of a sudden, Mike Tyson, listen, you know, that's what makes him a great fighter. He just couldn't control himself. He saw his opponent and his opponent's looking at him, giving him the eye, acting all hard. And Mike Tyson's like, no, you don't do that to me, man. I can't do it, Mike Tyson. I can't do it, Mike Tyson. Oh, that's bad. So anyway, he lost his temper and he just went right forward. All of a sudden, boom, it kicks off straight away. Tyson swinging. They're all swinging. Massive brawl ensues. And yeah, I mean, it's not the first time we've seen it, but however, at one point, Mike Tyson, you know, had a little nibble on Lennox Lewis's leg. Lennox Lewis afterwards pulled up his leg. He showed the world that the bite marks on his leg from Tyson. As we know, Tyson does like to bite. And then he lost his mind at the journalist, at the press. I mean, some of the stuff coming out of Mike Tyson's mouth was pretty bad, and I'm not going to say it on here because I will certainly get demonetized. I might even get thrown off YouTube for the stuff that came out of his mouth. I mean, it was quite the crazy rant that Mike went on, but still, it made that press conference very, very eventful, and it was a lot of fun to watch as a fan. Number 4, Mike Tyson blew $400 million, or in today's money, that is $700 million. $700 million. I mean, I'm not even mad. That's impressive. It really is. I mean, how do you do that? $700 million with if you had somebody looking after that money correctly, with the interest that you could get on that, I mean, my God, you would never have to work another day. Unless your name's Mike Tyson and you think that those paychecks are coming in forever. You know, I'm a huge fan of Mike Tyson and I'm sure he had an amazing time going through all that money. But I've got a list right here of some of the stuff that he did to blow that, because that's not easy. That is a very, very hard thing to do. So, I mean, how do you go through enough money to fund a nuclear war? Well, first of all, you give yourself $450,000 a month walking around money, you know, just to buy random stuff or go into a strip club or just buy jewelry or whatever it was, you know, just a cheeky $450,000 every month just to spend. Now, of course, you need a house. You need a house fit for a champ. You need 21 bedrooms and, of course, 27 bathrooms, okay? You need a different room to take a piss or a dump in for nearly every single day of the month. Gardening expenses alone were $100,000 a month in the 90s. I mean, that is some serious grass cutting, and not to mention $500,000 a year for keeping the Bengal Tigers. I mean, come on, listen, you're heavyweight champ. You got to have some Bengal Tigers. Of course, there's the cars, of which he bought over 100 sports cars, and only a few of them did he manage to wrap around trees and get into some nasty accidents. However, the sports cars were just one thing. Of course, the big one, the IRS, that was the big one. The tax man came after him, and by the time they got done with him, Tyson was only left with a poor, measly $30 million. Now, unfortunately, today, Mike Tyson, according to Mike Tyson net worth, he's only got $10 million. I mean, is it any wonder the poor guy's got to fly JetBlue? Real quick, I want to tell you about IPVanish. Anytime you're surfing the internet, you're always at the mercy of hackers, hacking into your financial information, people getting your social media accounts, your passwords, etc., etc. That's why you need to download IPVanish by going to IPVanish.com/Bisping or click the link in the episode description down below. You will be fully protected from all the hackers and all the idiots online. Also, anytime you're traveling international, you will have full, unrestricted access to everything on the internet. IPVanish.com/Bisping or hit the link down there. Number 3, Mike Tyson managed to get somebody pregnant while serving time in prison. Now, in the 90s, Mike was sadly sent down in disgrace for sexual assault. No laughing matter there, so no jokes whatsoever. However, that did not stop the champ from getting his leg over. Apparently, he was having sex all the time. And no, I'm not talking about dropping the soap in the shower before you all think that. Apparently, one of the female prison guards, he was able to coerce, he was able to sweet talk, and they were going at it like rabbits, apparently 2, 3, 4 times a week. Sadly, though, birth control, condoms are not easy to get in prison, and she fell pregnant. Still, I mean, I wish I could have been on that Zoom call when they decided to let a female prison guard be alone with Iron Mike Tyson for extended periods of time.
Jackass.
Number 2, Mike Tyson used a fake penis to pass a drug test. Yes, as we know, in professional sports, you have to give urine samples or blood samples. But if you're taking drugs, you're going to piss hot. Simple as that. And I'm not talking about steroids. I'm talking about recreational drugs. According to his autobiography, one of the worst kept secrets from the 80s and the 90s was that Mike Tyson was doing a lot of drugs. Apparently, when he lost his title to Buster Douglas in Tokyo, apparently he was doing so much cocaine and banging hookers and just having a wild time by the sounds of it. So, how did he pass his drug test? Well, he used something called the wizard. And no, I'm not talking about the grappling technique where you're defending takedowns and things like that. No, I'm talking about a fake penis, right? So what they would do, they would get a penis, they would fill it with urine that was clean, there was no steroids, there was no drugs in there, there was nothing, it was from someone that wasn't taking drugs. They would stick it down the pants, and that's what they would do. And I know what you're all thinking, how come Vito Belfort didn't use a wizard to pass his drug test? Well, I don't know, but I can only assume that those wizards, they didn't come in size extra small. And coming in at number 1, of course, you guessed it, it is Mike Tyson biting the ear off Evander Holyfield in Las Vegas, June 2002. Can you believe this? Now, in the fight, Tyson claimed that Evander Holyfield was headbutting him a lot. And of course, he was known for that. I just asked Hazeem Rahman. Rahman said that Evander Holyfield was headbutting him all the time. And of course, when you're in there and someone's fouling you and they're getting away with things, you can lose your mind. You can get a little bit annoyed. You get a little pissed off. Certainly when the referee's not noticing it. Little headbutts. I've been headbutted before. I've got little scars on the side of my head in some of my kickboxing matches. However, I did not retaliate by biting off the ear of my opponent, which is what Mike Tyson did. Bites into it, spits it out, made a disgusting face like that. Didn't taste very good. I mean, it was absolutely unbelievable. Very, very shocking. And of course, it had to come in at number 1. Now, of course, after the fight, Tyson was fined $3 million, which is a lot of money now. But in 2002, that was a hell of a lot more money back then. It was also the first time that a heavyweight boxing match had ended in disqualification for the first time in over 50 years. Buddy Bear was disqualified against Joe Louis back then. So as I say, 50-year hiatus from anyone being disqualified. The media also had the time of their lives reporting on this one. They called it the bite of the century. We wanted to see a hungry fighter again. But this isn't what we meant. Tyson tastes defeat. I mean, come on. The puns are endless. But still, Mike Tyson. If you're on a flight, if you're on a JetBlue flight with Mike Tyson, you've had a few drinks and you see him just chilling, leave the man alone, okay? He might just open a can of whoop-ass on you like he did that idiot last week. But still, there is 5 crazy Mike Tyson facts for you. Hope you're all well. Enjoy your day. Subscribe. Ring the bell.